Today in the shop we've got a 1953 Ford NAA. So this, what makes this tractor kind of special is it's a golden anniversary, a Golden Jubilee. So there's the little badge on the front. The owner says that's what makes it valuable. So we're going to go through this one. It has not ran in about 5 years approximately. He said that it was having trouble, some kind of ignition trouble. So we'll go through everything, check the fluids, check the gas tank that it isn't plugged up, put a new battery in it because the battery was junk, and see if we can get it running today. So the first thing I want to do is just drain a little bit of gas out of the fuel tank, see what the gas looks like, and make sure we got good flow. One thing I like to do is keep some of these little clear type containers around after I use them, and that way I can put some fuel in it and see it. All right, the glass bulb is filling up on the other side. All right, we got gas. I don't see much of anything that came out with the gas, so the gas line must have been fairly clean. So we'll get this tightened back up, and then we'll fill the bowl up. Okay, so it should be, this one right here should drain the bowl. I'll leave that right there. I'm gonna go back, turn the gas back on again. We'll let a little bit drip down into my oil pan. Okay, we got gas coming out. Let's put that plug back in. Snug that up, make sure it doesn't leak. Now, I'm not gonna take the carburetor all apart yet. We're gonna see if it'll run. Okay, the tack on this one is cable driven. And so that cable comes down here right past the battery box and goes in and is driven off the same gear that drives the hydraulic pump. But what I wanted to show you was, take a look at that. That is the cable, and it was right next to the battery, got corrosion on it, and then now it's the outer housing is completely damaged or completely gone. And then you look back here, the wing nut there is all covered in corrosion, and the pan itself is even damaged. Looks like that's been damaged for a while because it's got some fresh paint over it. But keeping your battery clean is super important if you want something to last a long time, because that corrosion just tears things up. Okay, we're just gonna give it a little bump to see if the motor will turn over. All right, starter's good, new battery is good. Okay, so we're not just gonna jump right in and try to start it. We'll check out the plugs a little bit, just to make sure nothing there looks terrible. They're not great. They're a little bit dirty looking. They definitely don't look like it's been firing correctly. But what we're going to try is just seeing if we got spark. Actually, I'm gonna pull that back out. We'll use that spark. Like I was gonna use something else. We'll just use this plug. Okay, I'm also going to say somebody has the wrong cap on it because there's that much play. So right there, I'm going to say is the first thing wrong. Somebody ordered the wrong stuff for this because it's got a new cap and a new rotor, but that's not right. So we're not going to get too far into this before we're going to find out we've got other problems. Okay, even though the cap and rotor is wrong, we're just going to see if it's getting any spark at all. Yep. Okay, so we are getting sparks, so we know everything else is working. Okay, so I had mentioned how much play was in the cap, so I went ahead and did my research to find out if it was the wrong rotor. The cap is the correct cap, but I wanted to see if the rotor was wrong or not. And what I found is right here, there is a little metal clip. Just a minute, let me pop that off and show it to you. Okay, right there is the rotor clip. I'm going to show you an exploded view of the distributor. So this little guy right here was the problem. So it just goes on. Hopefully there is a small groove. You can see the small groove right here in the shaft for the distributor. So you just kind of put it on the flat, and now I'm putting the exact same rotor that was on it back on it. So with the little clip on, you can see all the play is gone from the rotor. So I think when they replaced this rotor, when they put the new cap and rotor on, they lost that little clip. The clips are like 10 bucks. You can find them cheaper elsewhere. I'm going to throw a link in the description from Amazon. 10 bucks for that little clip, and that took care of it. So let's put it back together and see how it runs now. Okay, I got the other eyeball mounted again, the little headlight. Got the battery in, put a little rubber matting in there just to kind of soften that up a little bit. Distributor cap, I haven't messed with the timing or anything. I'm kind of assuming that that clip is going to take care of all the issues that we had. Took the fender off and beat a dent out a little bit. This tractor was actually in a building that collapsed, and that's what happened on the side of the hood. Right there, you can see it, that headlight, this fender. And I think that was the only stuff that got damaged. So it actually took a building caving in on it pretty good. Up here in the UP, the snow load took a building down. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead, fire this thing back up, and take it for a drive, see how it does. Okay, went ahead and pulled the carburetor. If you're looking at it, there is your throttle. You can just pull these little things forward, and that releases the ball that hooks up to your linkage. So right here, you can see those balls. So you just pull that forward, those pop off nice and easy. 1/2-inch wrench takes it off. So the first thing I'm gonna do is pull out the jets, main jet, and I believe idle jet. So let's get that out, and then we're going to drop the bowl and see what it looks like. Okay, at first glance, just kind of giving it a quick look, you can see it's got some newer gaskets in it. So I'm assuming somebody had this apart, but the float area, the bowl where the floats ride, is actually pretty clean. So that part of it is looking good. We're going to pull out everything else, kind of make sure all of our little orifices are clear. So far it doesn't look terrible. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. Looks like a little bit of shellac from gas. And then this little guy was in one of the orifices. Again, it kind of looks like gasoline that's just kind of made into a crusty. So I didn't do a full rebuild on this. There's lots of good tutorials on YouTube for actually doing the whole rebuild. I was just taking it apart, cleaning it, making sure it looks decent. And so I will tell you, let me get the settings for the jets and the idle adjustment. Okay, so on your main, that should be 2 turns. That's kind of your starting, and your idle, 1 turn out. So run them all the way in, bring them back out 2 turns and 1 turn. So we're gonna go ahead and put this back on and see how it does. Okay, everything is all back together, and the float and bowl should be full. So turn the key back on. All right, still got some adjustments to do. Sounds a lot better. It does still have just a kind of a slight little miss, but I'm gonna take it and drive it around a little bit, see how it does under a load. All right, we're gonna take it for a little run. Does seem to be sitting idling pretty good now. I did notice one thing. It does kind of make it a little bit loud. It's got one good hole in the exhaust manifold. All right, let's go. All right, guys, well, that's, I think, it for this video. It is up and running. It can be driven around. Needs a little more fine-tuning. Might have to dig into some stuff a little bit further, but there it is, the old Ford Jubilee. Hope you enjoyed the video. Throw something in the comments if you got something to say, good or bad. Let me know.